Welcome, everyone. I am absolutely thrilled you're here. Today, we're bringing you a highly structured, intensely practical explainer designed to take you through a single, complete day in Turkey. If you're a focused learner looking to just bypass all the fluff and get straight to what you actually need to survive and thrive in a new language, you are in exactly the right place. We're going to take the raw data of Turkish vocabulary and transform it into a living, breathing daily routine.
So, I've got to ask you, are you ready to speak basic Turkish today? Because that is exactly what we're going to achieve. We aren't just going to sit here and stare at a dense list of vocabulary, hoping it magically sticks. No way. Instead, we're going to actively transform these words into a real-world toolkit for your everyday communication. By the end of this explainer, you're going to know how to navigate your morning, buy your groceries, and express your needs. Let's get to work.
Okay, let's dive into this. Here's our roadmap so you know exactly how this practical day will unfold. First, we'll cover keeping track of time. Second, your daily Turkish routine. Third, a trip to the market. And finally, essential verbs in action.
All right, Section 1, keeping track of time.
You know, every single good day starts with knowing exactly when and where you are. If you want to make plans, meet friends, or just know when that local cafe opens, you absolutely need these foundational blocks of time. The natural flow of a Turkish day kicks off with sabah, the morning. Then, as the sun peaks, we transition into öğleden sonra, which literally translates to afternoon. When the sun starts to set and you're maybe thinking about dinner, you're in akşam, the evening. And finally, when it's time to rest, we reach gacha, the night. Definitely memorize the sequence, sabah, öğleden sonra, akşam, gecha. It is literally the rhythmic heartbeat of your daily conversations. And this brilliantly illustrates how you can easily orient yourself in the broader calendar too. We have dün for yesterday, bugün for today, and yarın for tomorrow. Zooming out a bit further, you move from gün, which is day, to hafta for week, ay for month, and yıl for year. You now have the power to talk about something that happened a whole week ago or a big plan you have for tomorrow.
Let's move to Section 2 and see how this builds. Your daily Turkish routine.
Now we're going to plug your actual daily habits into that timeline. And here is where the structural magic of Turkish really shines. In the present continuous tense, we have sabah erken uyanıyorum, which means I wake up early or I am waking up early. Notice that yorum ending. Contrast that with the past tense, sabah erken uyandım. I woke up early. See the dum ending? Just by recognizing those ending sounds, you instantly know the difference between doing something right now versus having already done it yesterday. Our anchor here, of course, being the verb for waking up.
But let's be real, sometimes we aren't just calmly describing our morning routine, someone is actively demanding it. Erken uyan, wake up early. This is the imperative command form. It's short, it's punchy, and it's just the root of the verb. It's also the somewhat harsh reality of what you might hear if you're oversleeping and someone is trying to yank you out of bed. No soft endings here, guys, just pure action.
So, the crucial point is that you didn't just wake up. You have a sequence, a routine. Step 1. Yüzümü yıkıyorum. I wash my face. Step 2. Dişlerimi fırçalıyorum. I brush my teeth. Step 3. Kahvaltı yapıyorum. I have breakfast. Step 4. İşe gidiyorum. I go to work. Notice that repeating yorum sound at the end of each phrase, you're building a logical, connected string of actions that will get you out the door and ready for the day, all nicely packaged in the present tense.
And this same exact pattern carries you all the way through your evening wind down. Check it out. Telefonumdan mesajlaşıyorum. Sending messages on my phone. Namaz kılıyorum. Praying. Biraz televizyon izliyorum. Watching TV for a while. Akşam yemeği yiyorum. Having dinner. And finally, gece uyuyorum. Sleeping at night. Look at how seamlessly the present tense applies to every single one of these daily survival actions. You are now fully equipped to describe an entire day's routine from start to finish.
Moving on to Section 3, a trip to the market.
Okay, so it's the afternoon, öğleden sonra, and we're heading to a bustling local Turkish bazaar to gather some fresh supplies. Now, what's really interesting here is how we can consolidate things. The original source material actually lists 29 different fruits, but as a focused learner, you honestly don't need 29 to survive your first trip to the market. We've distilled them down to these 6 essential sweet staples you'll see at almost every single stand. Elma for apple, muz for banana, portakal for orange. When summer hits, you absolutely need karpuz, watermelon, along with incir for fig and çilek for strawberry. Master these 6 first, and you are golden.
Let's keep that same high energy for the savory side of the market. We've totally bypassed the massive list of 30-plus veggies to bring you the absolute core ingredients of Turkish cuisine. We've got domates for tomato, salataluk for cucumber, patates for potato, soğan for onion, patlıcan for eggplant, and sarımsak for garlic. With these exact ingredients, you can confidently navigate a local food stand and have everything you need to make a classic, delicious Turkish salad or stew.
All right, bringing us to Section 4, Essential Verbs in Action. So, we've got our timeline, we have our routine, and we have our groceries. Now let's stitch the whole shebang together. If you want to communicate effectively, you need verbs. These 6 are your absolute building blocks for any basic interaction in Turkey. Olmak, to be. Gitmek, to go. Gelmek, to come. Yemek, to eat. İçmek, to drink. And uyumak, to sleep. If you only memorize one thing from today, make it these words. They are quite literally the engine of the language.
Let's just slow down for a second and look at how these verbs actually breathe life into a sentence. Ben mutlu oluyorum. It means I am happy. Here we see the verb olmak, to be, transforming from a simple dictionary word into a fully usable, real-world expression of emotion. You aren't just reciting words anymore, you're actually expressing how you feel.
Next up, we have a cluster of verbs that are vitally important for you, specifically the language learner. These are all centered around communication and processing information in a completely new environment. Okumak is to read, yazmak is to write, konuşmak is to speak, dinlemek is to listen, and anlamak is to understand. When you're navigating Turkey and figuring out signs, menus, and conversations, these are the verbs you're going to reach for constantly.
And hey, because you're practicing those communication verbs, you get to loudly and proudly declare, Türkçe konuşuyorum, I speak Turkish. By engaging with this explainer, you are actively achieving this exact goal right now. You aren't just planning to learn, you are doing it. It's incredibly empowering to realize you can construct this sentence and have it be absolutely true.
To round out our verb toolkit, we have words of transaction and daily life. Almak, to buy or to take. Remember our trip to the market just a few minutes ago? Almak is the exact verb you'd use when you want to buy those tomatoes and apples. We also have vermek, to give, çalışmak, to work, beklemek, to wait, and sevmek, to love. These really cover the constant give and take of daily existence.
Speaking of that last one, sevmek, I have to highlight a universally relatable sentence. Kahveyi seviyorum. I like coffee, or I love coffee. And let's be honest, loving coffee is basically a prerequisite for having a great day anywhere, but especially in Turkey, with its amazingly rich coffee culture. It's just a fantastic, friendly phrase to have in your back pocket.
Well, look at that. We've covered the morning routine, navigating time, shopping at the market, and the absolute core action verbs. You now have a massive, structured toolkit at your disposal. So I'm going to leave you with this final provocative question. What will your first Turkish sentence be? Don't just close this explainer and forget about it. I challenge you to take one sentence you learned today and say it out loud. Put it to use in the real world immediately. Thanks so much for diving into this structured learning with me, and I absolutely can't wait to guide you through our next topic.